Hey guys, do you need to sell a house fast? Do you want to sell your house fast? You should. And today we're going to talk about the 5 best things you can do in order to make that happen. So, if you're new here, my name is Jason Williamson. I am a real estate agent, real estate consultant, and what I do is I'm trying to help people, give you some tips, some real estate tips, buying, selling, whatever. And if you want to call me anytime, 888-464-1660. We can have a quick conversation, consultation, pressure free, free. Doesn't cost you anything. And we can discuss your situation and how I can help you. I work with an extensive network and an amazing, experienced, full-time team of agents that would love to help you get to your real estate dreams. So, 888-464-1660. Call or text anytime. So let's get into it. The first thing on my list is curb appeal. So we want to make your house look as attractive as possible from the outside in. And this is for pictures, this is for showings. The saying is, you never get a second chance to make the first impression. That is absolutely true. You can turn people off with your curb appeal. So on the outside of the house, of course, we want to mow the lawn, but we want to weed all of your flower beds, whether you've got flowers in them or not. Make sure there's no weeds. Clean up any trash or debris that might be in there. You want to trim all of your bushes, make sure everything is looking presentable, and definitely want to put some mulch down. All of this stuff just brightens up the exterior of the home. If you've got giant trees that are a little overgrown, definitely want to trim those. But curb appeal is the first thing that the buyer is going to see. Both online, that front of the house picture is typically the first picture they see, both online and when they show up to actually look at your house in person. So, make sure no kids' toys laying around. Edge your driveway, edge the sidewalk, trim the trees, trim the bushes, get the weeds out of there, and make sure the lawn is mowed and everything is looking as nice as possible. Throughout this list, I want you to be thinking, what if I was going to look at this house? Would I be interested in it? What would turn me off? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself as you're getting ready to sell your house. So curb appeal, definitely a big one. Next thing on the list, on the interior, declutter and stage the house. So declutter, if you've got a lot of knickknacks, if you've got kids' toys, if you've got magazines, whatever you might have sitting around, if you use your countertop in the kitchen as a storage area, clean it off. You want to show as much empty floor space and also as much empty counter space as you possibly can. So if you've got, a lot of people have home offices now. If you've got a home office with a desk that has 2 or 3 piles of work, you've got an in pile, an out pile, a to-do pile, you've got a pile for your bills, all of that stuff, find a drawer for it. Okay, you want to absolutely show as much counter space, as much floor space, as much table space, desk space as you can, because the clutter detracts from what the buyer sees as they're walking through the house. So you want it, staging is good. You know, if you've got a vacant house, understandable if you don't have the money to stage it, but staging does work. It helps people to be able to see themselves in the house. Um, and in the kitchen, if all they can see is pots and pans sitting on the counter, you've got a couple uh, jars that you put all your long utensils in so they're not clogging up a drawer. I understand it. That's how, that's how you live. That's how you keep your sanity when you're trying to cook and you don't have to reach in that nasty, that cluttered drawer. However, when somebody's coming through your house to take a look at it and thinking about buying it, or when they're scrolling through pictures online, online is really your first showing. And if they're scrolling through pictures and they're seeing a bunch of clutter on the counter, it detracts from what they should be seeing, which is how much counter space you actually have. So as far as staging goes, you can use your own furniture and you can stage the house to look nice. Now, if you are someone who likes a lot of furniture or you have big, heavy furniture, you may want to eliminate some pieces of that. You want to keep it very nice and very simple. As far as staging with your own furniture, if your couch or you've got a comfy chair that is kind of worn out, old lazy boy or something, your favorite chair ever, but it doesn't look the prettiest, maybe. Slip covers are a great option. You can get slip covers pretty cheaply, and it's a great way to spruce up the interior of your house for staging, for pictures, and for showings. If you've got an entertainment center or your mantle on the fireplace, if you collect candles or precious moments or any of that kind of stuff, definitely want to keep it pretty simple as far as that goes. A couple things up there, two larger things, or three smaller things, something like that, just to give the space a little bit of life, but you don't want to overdo it. So we are trying to sell your house. The people buying it, they may live exactly like you do, but even so, a lot of stuff, a lot of clutter is going to detract from the way they see the house as well. So decluttering is huge. Staging for photos and showings. Make sure all your beds are made. Make sure the dog's toys are cleaned up and out of the way. Litter boxes are clean so they're not smelling those odors. Even in the basement, if you want to show, again, as much floor space as possible. I understand a lot of people have a lot of stored things in their basement or in their garage. Make sure that stuff is organized. You know, the cleaner and the less clutter that you can show, the faster your house is going to sell. And the faster your house sells, the more money you're going to get from that sale. Okay. The third thing on my list today is a deep cleaning. So we go through, we declutter the house. After that, you want to make sure it is clean, top to bottom, front to back, kitchen, living areas, dining areas, office, bathrooms, bedrooms, the whole shot. Give it a good deep cleaning. It's going to eliminate any kind of odor that you may not notice because you do live in the house. Excuse me. It is, I would wipe down the walls, wash the walls, wash your cabinets, make sure there's no nasty gunk on the floor around the toilet, stuff like that. make sure your house is as clean as possible. Again, think of how you would feel if you were searching for a house and you walked into your own house. Would you be interested in buying it, or would you be turned off because maybe there's crumbs on the kitchen counter, or somebody spilled something on the floor and didn't clean it up and now it's just a dry, sticky mess? Life happens, but you can get your house to a place where it's quick and easy to just make the beds and walk out the door, sweep the floor or whatever, walk out the door so somebody can show it and somebody can be interested in your house. So a good deep cleaning is an important step to take. Paint. So fourth thing is paint. A lot of people don't like to paint, but if your paint in your house is worn, this is a really easy and inexpensive thing that you can fix. Everybody wants to have neutral colors. You don't necessarily have to paint your entire house. I wouldn't worry too much about bedrooms, especially kids' bedrooms. But the main living areas, kitchen, living room, should be neutral colors. They should flow together. If you do, there are some houses where it really makes sense to have an accent color or a trim color. And in those situations, definitely like a little darker tan with a lighter tan to kind of accent those areas is a nice touch. If you want to do colors, please give me a call and ask me about that. Some buyers might love it, some buyers might hate it. You really have to be careful if you're going anywhere outside of a neutral color palette with paint. One thing, if you can do it, if you've got older, darker cabinets, old dark wood cabinets that look dated, if you've got time and you've got the patience, or you've got the money to pay somebody, painting your cabinets white is a fantastic way to give your kitchen a more updated look. It brightens everything up, and it just helps so much. It can truly make old cabinets look new again. Depending on what you're working with, and also some modern hardware can definitely help your house show better and sell faster. So I don't want you to go too overboard with the painting, but paint definitely will help your house sell faster for more money. And remember, the faster it sells, the higher the price is going to be, and also the less amount of mortgage payments and taxes and insurance and all that stuff that you have to pay on that house down the road. So paint is a great way to give your house an updated look. Definitely love to talk colors with people. And the last thing on the list is price the house correctly from the start. When you see houses, especially in the market we've had the last few years, when you see houses that have been sitting on the market for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, it's always price. Always, always, always price. If you price your house correctly from the start, it will sell. Okay? And when I say price it correctly, it doesn't mean that the super updated identical house across the street from you sold for $300,000. Yours is dated, your furnace is old, and you're going to need a roof in 2 years. You can get the same amount of money for the super updated house where everything's new. It's not how it works. Even if they're the same bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, all that kind of stuff, If your house is dated, you need to accommodate for that in the price. And your agent is the best person to help you with that. A good agent can walk you through all of these things. I love it when people call me and say, hey, I'm thinking about selling in the next few months. Can you stop by and let me know what I should do and what I shouldn't worry about before putting my house on the market? That is a seller that is thinking ahead, and they're gonna do very well, because they're gonna do the cleaning, they're gonna do the decluttering, they are going to they're gonna fix their curb appeal if it needs it. All of this stuff is stuff that you can do if you just have time to plan ahead a few weeks or a few months. So again, my name is Jason Williamson. I would love to have a conversation with you about all of these or any of these things that you might have a question about. And if I can't help you, I would definitely put you in touch with one of my, again, very experienced, amazing full-time agents in my network or on my team. Give me a call or send me a text, 888-464-1660, and we can have that conversation and hopefully get you where you need to be with your real estate goals. Thanks a lot for watching.